Hey, this is Troutbitten. Thanks for joining me. So last week on the podcast, we talked about vests and packs and lanyards and how you like to carry your gear. And inevitably questions came in about, what's in the vest? It's a big vest. How do I carry the gear? How do I lay it out? And since 2014, when I started Troutbitten, I've gotten that question a lot. And I've always kind of resisted going through it because how I carry things and how I like to work the water is what dictates how I put stuff in my vest and what I carry. So you need to find your own system based on your waters and your goals. I like to cover a lot of water. I like to be ready for a lot of things, but you might go out there and be more minimalist about it. How we carry our gear can almost accidentally dictate how you fish. And I'd rather do it the opposite way. I very much like to decide how I'm going to fish, and then I'm going to choose how I'm going to carry my gear. And that's what I've done for years. I've been kind of on this vest system and the way I'm going to show you that I have it laid out for over a decade. But for many years, I kind of, not struggled, but worked through different ways of carrying things. I thought I wanted to carry everything in a pack for a while, and I've tried hip packs and sling packs. I came to a vest because of how I like to carry the gear. It keeps me efficient, it keeps me versatile. And so you're going to find your own system by working through your own needs and, again, adapting to your rivers. So let me show you what I have in the vest, how I have it laid out, and we'll do it that way. Are you ready? Well, here we go. So first of all, I like a vest because it allows me to keep everything that I'm going to need up front and accessible. And then I use the back for storage of, extra things like lunch and layers and even, you'll see the stuff I have in the back. I also like having pockets, individual pockets for almost everything. Instead of having many things in one big pocket, you kind of have a pocket for everything you're going to need. Last thing is I use a short vest. It rides kind of high instead of being really low and dipping in the water. All right, so we talked about this on the podcast, that your three main things are your nippers, your forceps, and your tippet. This is what you use most. So I keep it laid out in a certain way. I have my nippers right there, always accessible on my right hand. Instead of crossing over, I don't keep my nippers over here. Then it allows me, to pull off, some tippet here, and then easily use two hands. So that makes sense, right? The way it's laid out. Same thing too, I have two pair of forceps, and I'll show you a little bit about that later, but they're both accessible, just crossing over right here. Instead of having them jammed up somewhere down here, and I don't keep these things on a zinger, this is for me. You're going to find your own ways, but that's what I like, keeping everything right there with the tools. Cool? Yep. All right, let's take stuff out of the vest. I'll show you what I have. Let's start with fly boxes. Really, this is not in the vest, but of course on the vest. This is a C&F box. It's my working fly box. You need some place to put your wet flies. The flies once they're wet. They need to dry. There's a lot of different ways to do this, different fly patches. This one really works well for me, and it becomes my working fly box throughout the day. A lot of flies accessible right there. I keep my dry flies right here. Dry fly box. Everything in one box. I used to kind of have 3 fly boxes for dries. Now I have 1. Here's the nymph box. I keep 1 box for nymphs. A lot of junk flies on this side. I'll talk about this some other time, how I lay out the fly box. But all my nymphs really are in 1 box. And, streamer, this might be a little different to you. I keep all my streamers like this. This is all the streamers I feel like I'm going to need for today. And I keep, light colored streamers here. And darker colored streamers like olives and blacks here, because the blacks and the olives will sometimes bleed on the light stuff. Now the reason I have them in these boxes is because they can dry, and it's too much to try to put in this box. So I can just put them right back in here, and they can dry out even in that pocket and not rust. That's a good way to do it. So that's the fly boxes. Now you can start going through, and here comes three different kinds of floatants. The last one's over here. These are right here right hand, left hand, because of the way, seriously, I lay them out because of the way that I use these two versus the way I use this floating. It's usually on the leader, so that's why it's on my left side. But those are 3 kinds of floatants. There's a lot of things to it. This is Snake River mud, essentially. Use that, of course, to kind of sink leaders or to take the shine off of it. What else? Oh, this pocket for me is sort of extra storage. And these are the flies I tied last night. A couple things ready to go. A couple sulfur nymphs, CDC and elk, green weenie there. Kind of an extra pocket. Here's some chapstick. What else? Yes. Every once in a while, the ferrules. You know, your rods start to come apart. Your rod sections start to come apart. So a little bit of ferrule wax. When I'm guiding, I use that most. What else? Now this one's important. I use this a lot. The Velcro on this is pretty much worn out from using this so much. Split shot. I've done a full video on this. I'll link to a lot of stuff here. A lot of different videos and articles that I've written about all this. All my split shot is right there. My drop shot too, right there. And I even keep some little rubber bands in there. And the rubber bands are for, well, right here. On this little alligator clip, maybe point that out. I keep this alligator clip with the yarn because I use a Dorsey yarn indicator quite a bit, which again matches up with their rubber band. Now if I need more of the Dorsey yarn, I have this pre-bunched right here. There's 5 or 6 in there. And if I need more rubber bands, things just keep coming out of pockets. The rubber bands are right here. And again, once I use those rubber bands, or I, have them out of that bag, I keep a couple in that split shot container. Also then, I have, indicators, bobbers, sort of your airlocks and your thingamabobbers. Those were big ones. Here's small ones. There are a couple more indicator choices in this. And we're getting close to the end of the front pockets, the exterior pockets anyway. Stuff keeps coming out of pockets. I've talked before, and we've done a video on how I like to change leaders, and especially be very versatile and quickly change just tippet sections. And here you can see, well, that one's empty. You can see though that I have a streamer rig ready to go, basically from my tippet ring down. And then here are 2 nymphs ready to go with 5X right there, 1X bicolor and then 5X. And just ready to go there. Over here, 3 leaders. I'm a real big leader guy. You probably know that. One I call a Harvey Gold, very versatile leader. There's 2 dry fly leaders on this, Harvey leaders, and a standard mono rig here. You can see in a minute I got a lot more leaders. I think that's all the exterior pockets. Hey, this video is sponsored by Squala. They're a new brand in fly fishing, and they're making some of the best apparel on the market. So I've been wearing Squala waders, jackets, shirts, and pants for over a year now, and it's all great stuff. But I want to show you one of my favorite things, this Soul Tactical hoodie. What impresses me most about this fishing shirt is how it's so light, but it keeps its structure. Meaning a lot of light shirts kind of hang on you or get clingy, especially when they're wet. But this shirt really holds its form. This shirt is built with a panel design featuring 2 fabrics. Prime Flex enhances both stretch and abrasion resistance, while the full knit is light and airy. The Soul Tactical hoodie offers 50 UPF sun protection. It's stretchy, comfortable, and tough in all the right ways. It's got a great full coverage hood, a zippered pocket, and 2 unique pockets on the side. So for me, this is the perfect fishing shirt. Now to buy any Squala gear, just visit squalafishing.com and use the code Troutbitten10 for 10% off your first order from Squala. So that's within the exterior pockets. Now the interior. Let's see, what's in there? Little Bluetooth remote shutter for a camera. My uncle's knife, because you never know. Excedrin. That's that. A few more leaders over here. On this side, little coin purse, old school coin purse with some sighters in there. couple foam pinch-on indies that I probably haven't used for a year, but I keep them because some people like them. A lot of this stuff I'll keep just because I guide. I shouldn't say a lot, but some of this stuff I'll keep just because I guide. Now up in here, there's three sizes of bicolor, cider material. 1X, 2X, 3X, and on this side is where I keep the nylon. Out here is, for me, it's fluoro, and in here I have nylon. 3X, 4X, 5X, and 6X. Now I just unloaded everything from the front of my vest, I think. Yep, nope, one more thing, thermometer. you can get the, the stream thermometer, but this one's from my kitchen. That's it then. Everything from the front. All right then, what's in the back of the vest? Again, for me, it's storage. I don't want to have to do this to get the things that I need. But every so often, maybe a couple times throughout the day, I'll start digging stuff out. Everybody asks about this. I've had a rag on the back of my vest since I was a kid. And yeah, when it really starts to rain, I tend to take this off so I can keep it dry. There's a carabiner back here that I'll clip my hat to. I suppose other things once in a while. What else? Now, I told you I'm a leader guy. I have probably 6 or 8 liters in there. There's more than that, huh? 8 or 10 liters in there. That's mostly for guiding. The things that I keep up front are what I use when I'm fishing on a daily basis. But there's a few liters. Josh is laughing at me behind the camera. Fishing license.
So many more than that.
Fishing license, guide license, stuff you're gonna need like that. Staying official. What else? That's all in the big pocket. Now, really, a lot of times in that big back one, I'll take a layer off and store it back there. Same thing with lunch. Couple more things back here. More dry flies, because it's that season, right? And then more desiccant powder. And then it was, green drake season. The drakes are winding down right now. But I don't carry the drakes all year, but there they were. Ready to go if I needed them. Granola bar. Another granola bar. Is that it? Yeah, that's it for the whole vest. That's everything in the vest, all laid out. It's a lot lighter now. So there it is, that's all my stuff. But importantly, here's what's not in the vest. The heavy stuff, like water, wading staff, camera, and net. I keep all of that on my belt. We've done a video about the wading staff, and I have articles. Again, I'll leave links to that kind of stuff. That's a choice. Everything that's heavy, I don't want it on my shoulders, so I keep that on my hips. Makes for a shorter day, right? So the key to a good carrying system is efficiency. You might want more gear than I have here, and you might want less. However you choose to carry it though, think it through. If it's holding you back, if it's taking you out of your rhythm, then change something. Try a new pack, try a new vest, whatever. Lay it out in a different way. I often say that my vest is the most important piece of gear that I have, and I believe that. Well, because it holds everything else, and it keeps me in that rhythm. It keeps me versatile and willing to change, because it's easy to make those changes. All right, so I hope that gives you some ideas, and fish hard out there. Have fun.
Yeah. There's a sulfur here in the foreground.
Really? Ooh, there it is. Upside down.